I have been seeing so much about Bosnia on my TikTok FYP, so I thought why not check it out for myself and of course try all the food. We flew from Stansted Airport to Sarajevo, Bosnia. It was a 3-hour flight and Bosnia is an hour ahead of London, so we touched down around noon local time. We stayed in Sarajevo for the first 2 days at this apartment hotel with an amazing view, plus it had a stove. But there was a big problem with the hotel. The AC didn't work. The staff said it was broken for the whole hotel, and even though it wasn't super hot outside during the night, it was like 10 degrees Celsius at night and 25 degrees during the day. Inside was a whole other story. It was so hard to sleep. When we got to the hotel, I ate the chicken wrap that I made for myself at home. I didn't want it to go to waste and I didn't even eat it at the plane, so I thought, why not just eat it now? I do remember. And then we crashed for a nap because we'd been up since 5 a.m. After we rested, we took a taxi to Sarajevo's Old Town and first stop was food. We found this restaurant and tried Bosnia's national dish, Ćevapi. It's juicy, delicious kebabs served with soft flatbread and onions. It was amazing. The flatbread had this soft, spongy texture on the inside. The whole dish was great. Almost all the food in Bosnia is halal. The food spots that we went to served halal meat, except for Haribos. Don't grab Haribos unless they've got halal sign on them because they're not usually halal. We also tried a ram steak and a Bosnian burger from this place. Not gonna lie, the ram steak was overcooked. I wasn't feeling it, but the Bosnian burger was really nice, even though the bun was cold. And the chips here are amazing, so crunchy and tasty. I was craving something sweet, so we went out to look for a dessert spot and we decided to get kunafe from this place. We grabbed it as a takeaway since the place was about to close. We continued wandering around until we found this really cute cafe. It looked so cozy in the inside, so we decided to sit down and order some hot chocolate and chocolate cake. The hot chocolate was hands down the best I've ever had. They added in a plastic straw, but luckily the hot chocolate wasn't too hot and I prefer my hot chocolate that way. It was perfect. The cake was great too, and as for the kunafe, it wasn't great. It just tasted bland, which was disappointing. Day 2, we slept in and headed back to the Old Town for brunch at this cute spot called Bašča Cafe. It looked so pretty, but guess what? The kitchen was closed by the time we got there, so we went to another cafe I found online. It was just a few minutes away. We ordered a mocha pistachio latte and the most amazing San Sebastian cheesecake. It was so creamy and not too sweet. I'm still dreaming about it. For food, I went with a classic club sandwich and chips. You can't go wrong with that, and again, the chips were incredible. My husband's food wasn't great. He ordered a beef schnitzel and poached eggs with smoked salmon on a croissant. The beef was fried, which I didn't love. The poached eggs were watery and the hollandaise sauce just wasn't nice. We took a break and prayed Asr at this gorgeous mosque nearby, where my husband met Eddie Rezovic from the Dean show, and he was so gassed he couldn't stop talking about it. Outside the mosque, we found this bird with its head down. I tried to give it some water, but no luck. I think the birds around here get attacked by the cats a lot. At the gates of the mosque, they even have a spot where you can feed cats, which I thought was really sweet. We explored the Old Town a bit more and did some shopping before heading to the cable car. Near the Old Town, they have taxi stands where if you wait there, you can get a taxi. My experience with getting a taxi at Sarajevo was very difficult. The taxis are actually quite cheap in Sarajevo. I think it was like 5 to 7 marks to go from Old Town to our hotel. Anyways, we took a cable car up to the old Olympic bobsleigh track. So my SD card was attached to my phone because I don't even have enough storage on my phone to take all these videos. And as we were walking on the bobsleigh track, I realized that I dropped it somewhere. So I had to retrace my steps. You can hear me huffing and puffing because this walk was long. Alhamdulillah, my husband saw someone pick my SD cards up and we got them back. Guys, you don't understand how happy I was. I've already lost a bunch of my SD cards which had Saudi Arabia vlog on there and Turkey, Scotland. I had so much on there, all my old videos, and I'm so upset. Thinking about it just makes me want to cry. After all of that, I had so much energy, so instead of walking around the hill to get back to the cable cars, I decided to walk up the hill myself to save some time. Meanwhile, my husband took the longer route. It definitely felt like the faster option for me. Ignore my heavy breathing. Again, what am I doing? Looking up. Then we tried to get a taxi to the Yellow Fortress before sundown. We were near the city hall and there weren't many taxis passing by, and when we called them up, they kept saying there weren't any available. I'm not lying to you guys, every single time my husband would call the taxi line, they would always say there isn't any available. We waited over an hour and by the time it was dark, we scrapped our plan going to the Yellow Fortress. A random guy saw us struggling and tried to help. We told him that we wanted to go to our hotel, but then he got in the taxi with us. He seemed really nice at first, but then it just got super weird when he got in the taxi with us. I was just thinking, why are you in here? My husband really didn't think much of it, but I was just thinking stranger danger. He asked us where we would like to be dropped off. Our plan was to go to a hotel, but then we were like, okay, drop us off at the Old Town. And he was like, you're already in the Old Town. Then we said, okay, drop us off at the mall. The guy also headed off at the mall. When we saw that, we headed in a different direction and waited outside the mall for a bit. Speaking of malls, this one was so nice. We did some more shopping and grabbed dinner. My husband was craving Ćevapi again, but we made the mistake of getting it from a fast food place. A bad idea. Always go to a proper restaurant for that. It wasn't great. I ordered Bash, Bosnia's version of McDonald's. Everything is fully halal and it's boycott free. Bash Kids. We couldn't stop laughing at their Bash Kids meal. We grabbed everything as a takeaway and waited near Swiss Hotel to get a taxi, and once again when we called them up they said no taxis are available. We went into Swiss Hotel and asked them for their help and they managed to get a taxi for us. I got pistachio ice cream which was really nice and jalapeno cheesy chips which were kind of soggy though. The chips are so much better at restaurants. The fish burger bun was just like McDonald's but the burger was more like a fish cake. The cheeseburger was amazing and the mini chicken burger wasn't so great. Then we called it a night and headed to Mosque the next day. That's it for this vlog. Thanks so much for watching and stay tuned for more adventures.